We have a couple of principals who saw what their teachers were doing. We have one immersion principal in particular who came to a full LinguaFolio training, and she has not mandated it in her school. She's been very supportive as teachers have said, may I use this? And she's encouraged them to expand through the school. It happens to be a K-8 immersion school with multiple languages in it. And little by little, it's spreading throughout all the languages and all the levels. As far as my other principals, I have one that is a secondary principal where they have the immersion continuation program and a world language magnet program, and she again has wholeheartedly embraced the idea of LinguaFolio. The way to introduce it slowly to some other principals that aren't as comfortable with language learning, we actually created we took some pieces from LinguaFolio Junior and created a little 10-minute icebreaker activity. And took 2 little pieces of the I Can checklist that are very simple things that somebody might have experience with the language. I can introduce myself. I can ask somebody how old they are. I can tell somebody where I live. And it's just the checklist being from LinguaFolio Junior. They're colorful. It's simple as circling a few things or a few empty bubbles where they can write in things that they may be able to do from traveling that maybe a K-5 student might not think about putting on a LinguaFolio checklist. And after they do that, take a few minutes to reflect on their own things that they can do, they turn to a partner and they get to demonstrate 2 or 3 things that they said they can do. And then as a group, some of us shared out things that we heard, things that our partner was able to show off in Dutch from spending a year in Amsterdam, or things of that nature. And that just, they really enjoyed the activity, and oh, it's been 20 years since I took French, but I can still sing this song. And it got them very excited about language and the things that stuck in their brains, and their confidence level about language just took a little boost that day. And so then just talked a little bit about the purpose of LinguaFolio. Our particular district is focusing on the data-wise process, which means we're not looking just at summative assessments at the end of a course or end of a year, but gathering formative data to actually inform instruction and how teachers can help their students show growth. And since that is already a focus of LinguaFolio, it's just a wonderful natural piece to slide in and say, look, language teachers already have a tool to help them collect formative data, help the students figure out how they can grow, show their growth, set measurable goals, and build their self-esteem, and they will improve in this course, and these will also carry over into other content areas.
It's not me, it's them. Okay. Jeannie has had some experience with LinguaFolio, and I think initially started that conversation with her colleagues. Mm-hmm. I'm very open to teachers figuring out a new and better way to do what we've done. We've never arrived, so being along the way, working along the way to improve our practice is always a good thing. I agree from the standpoint of myself as a teacher that following a course of study, or worse yet, following a sequence in a textbook, is not a very good way to authentically learn anything. And because language learning has such obvious and unique applications, it was a great departure from that dependence. I'm excited because in many ways they are leading the faculty, not only in stepping away and making instructional decisions based on the collection of data along the way as far as students' progress, formative progress in the assignments that are given them. I think it's powerful for other teachers to see that you can adjust your timing without getting to the end of the year, without getting to the end of the content. I think that's a fear that teachers many times have, and these folks have proven that that is not really something they need to be worried about, that teachers exercise their professional judgment very appropriately in adjusting instruction to what students' needs are, and in differentiating the instruction to the individual needs of students, both things we're struggling with in all of our content areas. In that regard, I'm very excited that our language teachers are really pioneers. I think that most importantly, teachers need to buy into it. I didn't have a sales pitch. They came to me. And I think that my advice would be, if you have teachers who are interested in taking such an initiative, be open-minded, listen to them, listen in the context of the other educational movements going on across the nation right now. It's a very obvious fit for the kinds of changes that we're looking to make on a much broader scale. And yes, it's a little different, and yes, it's a little scary, but it's a worthwhile risk. And the fact that students really are progressing, particularly in the areas that are most important, in those introductory classes, in the listening and speaking skills, I think that bodes well for their success as we go forward with the project.
Our principal and administration have been very supportive. Now, we have some new administrators this year who weren't here last year, but last year's administrators and our principal were very supportive. They provided us with substitutes for one day when we met during the whole day to set the themes and the mastery levels for each of the levels of languages, and have been happy, have been excited, have caught some of our excitement and fed it back to us to keep us going when the going got rough and we got tired. And they are excited even this year to see what is going on, and have supported us just emotionally probably and psychologically as well as anything.